Every relationship you had was shaped by one decision. Not who you chose, but how you chose. Most people don't realize they're repeating the same mindset over and over again. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that quietly control our dating lives. Choice. When it's come to relationship, most of people usually fall into one of the three approaches: romantic fantasy, pure logic, or a balanced middle ground. This isn't about men versus women, right versus wrong. It's about understanding why certain relationships keep repeating itself and how to stop this cycle. Let's start with the first approach, choosing relationship through fantasy. This is when love is driven by chemistry, potential, and hope. You feel deeply, you believe deeply. And you say to yourself things like, they're not perfect, but no one is. They have a rough past, but once they feel safe, they will change. This isn't stupidity. This is optimism. That's where things become dangerous. When red flag shows up, they get relabeled as misunderstanding, temporary phases, or things love will eventually fix. Let's take a real life example. Like you notice inconsistency early on, delayed replies, mixed signals, or emotional distance. But instead of asking, is this acceptable for me? You ask, how can I be more patient? Fantasy based love, they focus on who can someone be instead of who they constantly are. And eventually, reality always collects its bills. Now, let's jump to the opposite extreme, logic only relationship. You've been hurt. Now you're in alert mode. You notice everything. You analyze tones, patterns, words, and energy. On the surface, this looks healthy. You have standards, boundaries, self respect. But here is a subtle problem. When logic takes over completely, connection never fully forms. Let's take a real life example. Let's say that you met someone and that person forget to text you back once, or someone says the wrong thing at the first date, or someone shows nervousness instead of confidence. In these scenarios, instead of curiosity, the response is, that's a red flag. I'm not tolerating that. Okay, next. Logic without emotional flexibility doesn't create safety. It creates constant evaluation. The third approach is the hardest one because it requires emotional maturity. This is where when you don't romanticize people and you don't villainize them either. You see red flags and you take them seriously. But you also understand that not every imperfection is a deal breaker. Let's take the example of someone struggle with communication, but they listen, they improve themselves, and they take accountability. That's different from someone who avoids accountability. The difference isn't the flow, it's the pattern. A balanced love asks better questions. Instead of asking yourself, can I tolerate this? You can ask, does this align with my life and emotional safety that I want long term? Reasonable love doesn't rush, doesn't force, and doesn't ignore reality. They choose clarity over intensity. Most people don't stay in one category. They swing in between. They get hurt while romantic, so they become hyperlogic. They get lonely while logical, so they fall back into fantasy. That back and forth feels like a growth, but in reality, it's actually avoidance. Healing isn't choosing the opposite stream, it's choosing balance. You don't choose love once, you choose how you see people every time you date. Fantasy ignores reality. Logic avoids vulnerability. But a balanced love accepts truth and decides from there. If this made you reflect, that's a good thing. If you're dating right now, ask yourself, which mindset am I leading with? Like it and share with someone who is navigating a relationship and subscribe. We talk about love, pattern, growth here without judgment. Choose growth, choose awareness. but most importantly, choose a relationship that chooses you back. I'll see you in the next one.